Hello, and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I am Sientir, and we are here in Pre-Searing Ascalon again. As a quick reminder, you can support me on my Patreon at patreon.com/Sientir. And with that, we're going to wander up here. Now, the eagle-eyed among you may have noticed a slight change to my character, which is that I am level 10. Also, the less eagle-eyed among you, I guess. I don't know, I don't want to be rude about it, but may notice that I have put on the this button. The Lissa's adornments. I also have a couple of gifts of the huntsman that I might as well open with you guys here now. We got some more bottle rockets, and we got some aged hunter's ales. There's also some silver dye over here. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time in pre-searing this week, but I did want to show you what I'm kind of to on my character right now. So I'm at the point where I can talk to Lieutenant Langmar to be able to get quests, and these are daily. They give you, they always reward you 1,000 experience points and 50 gold. The gold is pretty meaningless to me at this point. I've got 3.5 platinum with nothing to spend it on. In Guild Wars 2 terms, I'm freaking rich, but in this game's terms, not as much. But the point that I'm basically at is I'm more of a necromancer than a warrior. I found that this setup allows me to actually be able to survive char attacks because it turns out blood renewal is very strong. So I'm going to go ahead and read out what this quest is. It says, these bandit attacks are getting ridiculous. Frankly, I don't care if their motives are greed, politics, or anything else. I just want them gone and out of our hair. I'm fairly sure if we take out their leaders, the rest will either flee or be too disorganized to pose a serious threat. If you're up to the task, go to Regent Valley and kill all of the bandit ringleaders. That should let the rest of them know we aren't going to stand for this any longer. Okay, so we get a quest a day from Langmar, and there's a couple of notable things about this quest. So first of all, this will allow enemies above the normal level to spawn. Another is we get this Vanguard Initiate, which sets our base armor level. So like right here, you see this says armor 27. That's going to be moved up, I believe, to armor 40 at my current level, but that gets raised while you're doing these quests. And these allow you to be able to get up to level 20 in Pre-Searing Ascalon. There were techniques to do it before. They were, shall we say, imaginative. It turns out the old technique to get to level 20 that required death leveling, which is basically where you would drag a bunch of char over to the resurrection point somehow, and then have them just mass kill you until your deaths, the experience from killing you, caused them to level up so you could get experience from killing them. Which I think is a bit of a preposterous proposal, and ArenaNet thankfully implemented this quest system with Langmar to make things a little bit easier. These quests also, from what I've experienced, I've done a few of them at this point. You didn't need to see all the details of me grinding up to level 10 to start being able to take the quest. Let me assure you that one. But these quests don't really have quest markers, so they're just kind of like, go out into the world and figure out what you're doing. So not everything is leveled up. For example, these scale are pathetic and highly ignorable, unless my imp decides they're not ignorable, in which case they'll be dead instead, because it's a level 10 imp and they're level 1 scale. They don't give me any experience points. So what I want to do today is just this quest. I'm not sure how long it'll take. The last time I was here, I got there was another quest that took me to this area to hunt down someone, and I got severely... loss isn't quite the right word. I'm not going to bother picking up a lot of the white drops unless they're collectibles that stack, by the way. It's not worth it. But I ended up rather thoroughly exploring the outskirts of Regent Valley, and the place I need to go to is here. I came in here and went around that way. So I took, like, a very long time to go kind of the long way around. Most of the enemies here aren't worth fighting, but they'll bother me, so it's worth taking them out to stop their nuisance. Okay, so right there you can see I have on my compass a bandit ringleader. Basket of apples apparently respawns, so I'm not sure what to make of that. Again, I don't need that short sword. It's just going to clutter up my inventory and be worth 3 gold, so it's just not worth picking up. This, on the other hand, is absolutely worth picking up. Unfortunately, it means my dye collection is getting varied enough that my inventory is stuffed. But oh well. The red iris flowers are also worth picking up. Unfortunately, I discovered when this says items attribute +1, it means a rune that you put into it. You can get runes in pre-searing, that's what these are. But but you have to get a kit to take them out off of char. And apparently the char are perhaps not as hasty to deliver those as one would like. Important not to use Frenzy against these guys. I don't need the additional damage. But you can see how poignant some of these things are. Hopefully I don't get... Okay, I didn't get hit by some random Ellie spell to one-shot me. So these guys are just elementalists, apparently. Okay, down there is not really worth going into. I might be able to get, like, 16 experience from that oak heart, but it's just not worth going to. A lot of these higher level enemies don't seem to drop much outside of the char lands. The higher level char clearly have drop tables, but so yeah, I've been spending a lot of time exploring Pre-Searing Ascalon and fighting char and things like that. Maybe I'll show you a little bit north of the wall now that I'm able to actually survive up that way. I turned up my volume. It looked like it was a little bit low on the recording, and lovely music here. I will say, and I find this to be very interesting, that due to the difference in visual aesthetic, which is basically not duplicated anywhere, like the char homelands have areas that have like similar vegetation and stuff, but the architecture and that sort of stuff and the ruins and whatnot that you see in Ascalon are just not duplicated in the char homeland area. Just logically speaking, it wouldn't make sense anyway. So combined with unique visuals, unique music, and a very limited palette of skills and enemies and stuff, I find that I've really found that these pre-searing areas feel very different from the rest of the game. Like, nowhere else feels quite like Pre-Searing Ascalon does, and I think that's really interesting. So let's see. I've not done this quest before, by the way, so I don't actually know where the bandit ringleaders are. It's theoretically possible that they have semi-randomized locations. I'm not even sure. Okay, 5 remain. The quest does tell me how many I'm looking for. This is one of the things that can happen with the imp with these guys. Like, the AI is not necessarily intelligent enough to realize it's being obstructed. So it can sometimes stand around being obstructed and not actually making any progress. I do want the imp with me. It adds a sizable amount of damage. So it's really important. And I get to use it, at least for now. So I'm going to make use of it. A bunch of hidden stashes over here, but not a lot in the way of enemy. Not sure how long this episode's going to end up being, by the way, because I again don't know how long this quest is going to take. A couple black bears down that way. We're probably going to head down that way, actually. That's just not worth picking up. Not like I spent anything on it getting it open. There's those guys that want you to hunt a bear. Is this... I think this area, though, is actually a dead end up here. I don't think you can actually get down from up here. I think you have to go back sort of the way that I came from. I've been getting a lot more familiar with the pre-searing maps, by the way. It's kind of a consequence of spending so much more time here. A bunch of fire gear I don't need. I do love these grasses. I really like the feel of like a grassy plain like this has to it. I don't know. It's interesting what sort of things strike our aesthetic fancy. But let's see. Can I get down around? Yeah, I think I can actually get down around where these bears are. I'm going to do that. We'll have to fight the bears, but level 3 bears aren't a threat. They're a nuisance, but not a threat. This is just mostly a matter of... Yeah, you can see like how much damage the imp has. Looking at the spider, and it made me say spider. See, like a spider leg is a stackable drop. It's a trophy, technically. So those are absolutely worth picking up. Spider webs, I guess, technically stack. Like, if I get through past the area where the spiders generally are, probably not going to bother picking more up just because it's not worth it. Also, hopefully my volume level remains kind of consistent. I've had to change my setup, so I'm not sure how well this is doing from that standpoint compared to previous. But anyway, hopefully it does okay. This guy needs to go down. Oh, this is a bad spot to stand. You can tell it's a bad spot to stand because there were multiple and good. The Grawl are annoying because they're adding additional DPS. This guy is the real threat, though. He'll be down in just a moment. Now I just need to take care of these Grawl because they're all focusing on me, but you can see they're doing a lot less damage than that guy was. Not going to bother picking up the gear either. It's just not worth. I will pick up these coins, though. Okay, so that's some more of that. I imagine they're quite spread out, so this might take a little bit. Wow, these Grawl are loaded. Those guys are doing their drinking game. Every now and then one of them will run away for reasons I haven't yet fully figured out. I don't think any of these weaker enemies can drop runes, though. See, I will pick up these because my inventory is really, really tight. But these can, like, that's probably not worth hanging on to. If I need inventory space, I'll drop it. But see any? But the blues can be highly, or can have higher value. They can be higher sale value, is the technical term, I suppose. I'm just scanning for the bandit ringleaders. Like, there's a bandit raider over there, which is a level 8. So that makes me think there's probably one over that way somewhere. I've completely blanked on what I was saying previously. This happens sometimes. This guy is worth taking down even if he's by himself, just because he's worth some amount of experience points. Got a friggin' high-level skin. But you can see he's worth 64 experience points, which most of these enemies aren't worth any, so... Absolutely worth it to take him down. Oh, something else, actually. This is interesting. Right here, and right there are entrances to the catacombs. So I think that's kind of interesting. You can see I've mapped a lot of the Northlands now, and I've gotten a lot of this area mapped as well. I've tried to kind of make my map as thorough as I can. A lot of that was just me running around near stuff. I think I can get a little... Or I'm not sure if I can actually get closer right here or not. That's something that I might look into. At some future point in time. I want to try to have this character as, like, complete on pre-steering stuff as I can. And most of it you have seen. We're all shaman doing their typical Healy business. Brawl necklace is another example. Oh, brown dye. Okay, I'm apparently getting a bunch of dye now. Eating away at my precious inventory space. I do know that you can get bags from char. You can get char bags. I don't know how common of a drop those are, though. But I do know that that is something that was added to help with some of the inventory problems that you get in pre-steering. Great, we've gotten a semi-offensive name winning in the Hall of Heroes. Please kindly ignore that. All these Grawl. I don't see any bandits over that way. Oh, there's a ringleader. Okay, apparently these wolves are really aggressive. They're not very dangerous anymore. They are at like level 1 or 1 to 3 or sort of like in that range. You can see if I was picking up everything, my inventory would be so full. Just be ridiculous, and I wouldn't be able to like have room for anything. It's not what I want. Scale vary in their aggressiveness, I've found. Why did I frenzy against this guy? That was a terrible mistake. Ouch. Because I was in... Whoop. Or my... this skill is just so good. Blood Renewal is absolutely ridiculous in Pre-Searing. It gives you 7 seconds of insane health regen. And this 5 health regen, by the way, is equal to 10 HP per second. So it gives you 10 HP per second of healing for 7 seconds. And then when it ends, you get another 120 health. It's just like, it's very, very strong in Pre-Searing. As I load this guy down with degens. I will pick up these scale fins. The other stuff is just not worth picking up, of course. Again, it's only worth a couple of gold, and my inventory space is very much so at a premium, as you can see when I bring it up. Okay, so at this point I'm looking for... hopefully there's none in the river. I'm just looking for the last, what, three bandits. I guess they started off as 6. Like that. If I can get up there, that red iris flower would make a fine addition to my slowly reaccumulating collection. I don't mind having picked up the thing. I just wish I'd gotten the... there's an equipment bag that you can get alternatively. I wish I'd gotten that first. That would have been more useful. These hills are swarming with Grawl, but since they're just Grawl and not Shaman, I'm okay with mostly letting my my imp friends take care of them. Okay, there's another bandit ringleader over that way. We will go that direct. Don't know why I'm using the we. I guess it's the royal we. Something like that. That how this works. A bunch of moss spiders over there, which is interesting. People have a fondness for moss spiders because of their sort of ubiquity in pre-searing, and they basically cease to show up once you leave pre-searing. I'm actually sure the best way to get over there. I know I'm going to need to take care of these spiders, though. They're going to be just plaguing me the entire way. No reason to have them around doing that. Okay. And apparently we have a girl over here we're taking down. Okay, sure. This is one of the problems with the imp, is it only knows war. It won't just run past enemies that are passive towards you. Which can be annoying sometimes, shall we say. Because like in this area, for example, there's going to be all these devourers that are passive. They're not aggressive at all. But it don't care. It's gonna go after them regardless, and that's annoying. Okay. Let's not stand in the firestorm, shall we? Firestorms are bad to stand in. Ow. I don't know what these guys' attribute spreads are, though, because, I mean, Pre-Searing has a really limited set of skills, which is part of what makes it charming, I suppose. But it does mean that builds tend to be a little bit weaker. I will say that I've done some thinking about what I want as kind of like a higher level attribute spread, and it does have some reasonable capability to it. It's just going to, shall we generously say, take a while to get to level 20. You cannot get maximum attributes, actually, when you're at level 20. This is a decision that they made, that the maximum number of attribute points, I don't know if you've noticed on any of my other characters or if you've seen one of the previous episodes where I've gone through this, but the maximum number of attribute points you can get on a character is 200. At this point, I have, I don't know, some amount that I don't feel like trying to calculate out right now. But the maximum you can get through leveling up is 170. So there's 30 attribute points you can't get through leveling up. The way that you get those is the games have quests. I think they typically have 2 quests. So each quest will give you 15 attribute points, and that will allow you to be able to get up to that remaining quantity. Now, there's probably a bandit like up in there somewhere, but I kind of want to scout through this area. Well, is it better to go this way, or, you know what, I'm going to go around. I do want to check up into those hills. I'm trying to think of the best way to get up there. Is it over this way? I feel like there's going to be a ringleader up there somewhere. And I've got 2 left, so I don't know if there's going to be one over there, or in here, or up in there. But I feel pretty secure in a lot of these areas I've already gone through. There's a bunch of scale over this way. But yeah, so sort of the idea is by normal strength, you can only get so many attribute points, right? You can only get so far. And the way that you get those remaining attribute points is doing quests to kind of unlock your hidden potential once you kind of actualize in some way. So each of the games has a point, I guess we'll call them, or an event that attributes to your character a special status. So in this game, in Guild Wars Prophecies, you become chosen. This confers on you the ability to see the Mersat, which were previously able to render themselves invisible. And it also gives you the sort of, I don't know, I guess you could call it an advanced status. Oh, this is a cute little water area. Nice, but not actually a 3-path. Okay. But this chosen status kind of signifies that your character has gone to become more than normal people are. So this is accompanied by a couple of things. One, it allows you to be able to change your secondary profession. So in Prophecies, this occurs very late, because chosen status is about 2/3 of the way through the game, roughly 3/4, something like that. But so it allows you to be able to change your secondary profession. It also gives you the quest to unlock the remaining 30 attribute points. So kind of from a lore standpoint, most characters are limited to only being able to have one secondary profession, the one that they select like at this time, and they're limited to 270 attribute points. They cannot get more than that. This is where I'm going to drop this tribal blade because it's not worth very much, and grab this. See, that has improved sale value. It's worth 63 gold as opposed to like the 3 of the other stuff. I have no idea if I don't think I can see quite far enough to identify that there's bandit over there. Need to go past Master Ranger Nente to get where I'm going, though, which is fine. Everybody loves seeing Master Ranger Nente, right? He's just chilling here. I'm brutally slaughtering this poor devourer. Not entirely because I want to, but because my imp demands its crispiness, I suppose we can say. Gruul, ooh, another red die. Fascinating. Gruul Shaman are, for what it is worth, fairly aggressive. The long spears are as well. I think they call them long spears. But basically the level 2 and 3 Gruul are aggressive. The level 1 Gruul are not. I'm just popping my head down this way to see if I see any of the bandits down this direction. I am not seeing them, so I'm actually going to go back and around. I will pick up this gold. Thankfully, the imp didn't follow me to even more Grawl to needlessly fight, but here we are. I do love it here, but I'm not gonna, like, I do want to slowly get myself up to level 20 and get the Legendary Defender of Ascalon title. That's something that I want to accomplish, but I'm not going to record all of that because, one, it requires it being spread out over many days, and two, it is going to be a long, tedious process. And while I intend to enjoy it, I don't think it makes for the most interesting viewing. I'm not going to do a 2 level 20 in Pre-Searing Ascalon series. That just is not appealing to me. You can see that the Devourers take a moment to react. We can go to King's Watch and Post-Searing Ascalon as well. Actually, I do kind of want to take my... yeah, these are level 3 bandits, which is what I was thinking. I do kind of want to take my Paragon around 2 more places in Ascalon. So that's something that I may end up doing. In Post-Searing Ascalon, of course. I cannot go to Pre-Searing Ascalon with a Paragon. That's technically impossible. Ooh, another red iris flower. That's good. Need those. Okay, that's like level 2 bandits and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Worn belt's probably better than spiderweb. I'm not gonna get a lot of spiderwebs, and there's a reasonable chance that I'm gonna get more worn belts. There is a merchant that I'm going to probably be visiting, but I'm not going to go around to, like, pick up random 3 gold stuff. It's just not worth the time. Like, in general, in this game, I like to make sure to try to pick up all of my loot as much as I can, just because that's how you get money in this game, is by actually picking up your loot. But there comes a point where it's just not worth it, and the thing is, I don't even need the gold that I do have, so... Ivor's hanging out over there. It's amazing how much banditry there is in Pre-Searing Ascalon, actually. There are actually an awful lot of bandits. Okay, there's another ringleader up here. Oh! Ivor Trueshot just got killed by bandits. So, that sucks for him. I think you can find him in Post-Searing Ascalon, actually. I believe he's in Pickens Square, if memory serves correctly. Okay, so let's see. Okay, my imp should be fine with that going on. Oh man, double elementalist is painful. Oh, the other one got knocked. Okay, cool. My imp did good. Took out the other ringleader. I was kind of absorbed in thought, shall we say. I don't need Crichton leggings from you. I already have them. Okay, so if this last one is like something I have to hunt for a very long time, I'm going to be somewhat annoyed. One remaining. Yes, I know. Alright then. Let's just continue on this direction. I love how my shield means that these guys do less damage when I'm in frenzy rather than more. As you can see, worn belts are something that are dropped frequently by bandits. It is common. Ooh, another red iris flower. Like I said, I need those for my... I kind of expect the last one to be up there in the hills somewhere. There's a bunch of bandits normally that spawn there, by the way. But I need the red iris flowers for an equipment bag, which will basically add 5 slots to my inventory, so that will help a good bit. Yeah, so I would anticipate... Don't know what that chug was. That chug is usually something I associate with spawning. Oh! Well, there's the last ringer leader. Over near our friendly merchant. So at least I know where that is now. So many worn belts, by the way. These guys need to make a belt budget. Their belts are wearing out. Wow. Dyes. Like, dyes are supposed to, from what I've heard, drop more often in pre-searing, but this has been insane dye luck. So many dyes. Wenzel is the merchant that I was kind of referring to, by the way. He's convenient. Oh yeah, he's not gonna... interrupted my speed-causing skill. How could you? Okay, so there's a bunch of weak bandits. I kind of want to clear the weak ones out first, if I can. Oh man, that's too many firestorms. Too many firestorms. One does not need that many firestorms. Oh, my fire imp got killed. So the good news is, I'm going to just auto-run away a little bit. My fire imp, we've been in this map long enough that my fire imp respawns. So there's a bunch of these guys here. Like, a bunch. Okay, looks like fire imp got one of them down. Ow. At least these guys aren't draining my energy like some of the Char do. There's the lightning javelin. Now I'm safe to do that. Cool. And that completes the quest. So we're going to go talk to Lieutenant Langmar. But first, I am right here at this merchant. So let's deposit these into his inventory in exchange for some more pointless money. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Captain Langmar, and that will wrap us up for this episode. But you can see how this questing sort of progresses. And at this point, I need a bit of experience. So, Lieutenant Langmar says, "You have done well. I fear this isn't the end of the bandits in the area, but it has certainly dealt them a blow." Hooray! And with that, our episode comes to a close. So, until next time, everyone, take care. Bye-bye.